This episode is brought to you by the Cal State LA Federal Credit Union. If you're a Cal State LA alumni, a staff member, or a student, or you live in the 90032 zip code, you're from El Sereno, you live, work, or play here in El Sereno, you can become a member. So make sure you check them out on Instagram or reach out to us and join today. Thank you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sereno Insider Podcast. We are back. We're bringing you some awesome guests. And today we have Alex Villanueva, former sheriff, and now candidate for sheriff in 2026, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Awesome. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And it's like let's get some info out to our community, and let's share some stories and tell us a little bit about why you're running again.
Well, I'll tell you this. I spent my young days as a deputy working patrol in East LA.
Okay.
That's where I went to patrol training and became a training officer there, a field training officer. Met my wife in East LA. She was born and raised in East LA.
She's a Garfield girl, is that correct?
Garfieldian. And 4th Street, Griffith, Garfield, Cal State LA.
Nice.
So she covered the whole gamut there, and so she's the ultimate born in East LA.
Nice.
And so we've been married since '97.
Wow, congrats.
And in fact, when I left East LA to go to the academy, that's the year we got married. And she retired as a deputy when I took over as sheriff.
Okay.
And what happened after I left office to now is just, we knew he was going to be bad. People ignored us.
Yeah.
And it turned out he found a way to be 10 times as bad as we thought he would be. And the calls, people begging, please, you got to come back. The death toll mounting, suicides, accidents, people burning to death with no evacuations. It's just, death follows this guy everywhere he goes.
It's been all bad. From what you see, what you've been following, it's just, because there's been a lot on the news. Obviously, the fires. I don't know if you want to touch on that real quick. The fire. Do you think the way it was handled? You think
it wasn't handled? That's the whole problem.
Kind of just there was no leadership.
No leadership. There was no plan to evacuate, and the media obscured the fact that he's the only person responsible for evacuations. So when you read the Times reporting on the evacuations that didn't happen, or you listen to the Board of Supervisors or their special report they paid, or actually you paid $2 million for it, everything doesn't mention the fact that he was responsible for evacuations. The old joke, he had one job. Well,
yeah.
That was his one job, and he didn't do it.
Right.
And a lot of people died as a result of that.
Yeah. So. And then obviously he's in charge of evacuations, right, to begin, and then also in charge for protecting the property, right? And
after you
else.
Evacuate everybody, you got anarchy there, and unless you have a police presence to prevent the looting, people are going to come in and loot, and that's exactly what happened.
And that became a problem as well, right?
They were getting ripped off left and right.
That's horrible. After you're victimized by the fire, then you get victimized by these groups of people just coming in and taking your property, whatever's left, right?
Yeah, if your shit didn't burn down to the ground, someone came and cleaned you out.
That's horrible.
A double whammy, and that all falls on his very, very narrow shoulders.
So he didn't take action and
did nothing. He knew he did not have the personnel. He didn't call the National Guard when it was obvious, because the National Guard, they're not peace officers. They can't go out there patrolling and catching bad guys, but you can put them on fixed posts. You can use them in containments. You can use them to safeguard public institutions that get vandalized and stuff like that. You can do all that.
Yeah.
He did none of the above.
So what would you have done just right off the bat differently, right from the get-go?
Well, the National Weather Service gave LA officials a warning, and that we had never heard this before. Particularly dangerous situation. 5 days before the first fires broke out in the Palisades, we already knew. So while Mayor Bass was out there having a good time in Ghana,
right,
Baca was in Carlsbad in some union-sponsored luxury hotel junket, and all 5 days leading up to the fire starting, there was no efforts to mobilize, to prepare, pre-position firefighting assets formulating evacuation plans, see where the vulnerabilities are. For example, we had 2 years of record heat. 2 years. Then we had 8 months of record rain. Actually, no, reverse. 2 years of record rain, 8 months of record heat with no rain. Then let's throw 100-mile-per-hour winds on that, hurricane-force winds. Gee, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
A ton of fuel is going to be exposed, dried out, and all it takes is one match, and you got a raging inferno.
The perfect storm.
Perfect storm. That happened, and they knew it was going to be a perfect storm. So where was the plan to evacuate? Were we going to lose, even if the fire department was at the top of the game and they did everything right in advance, we were still going to lose a big chunk of houses because the problem was bigger than their ability to put it out.
Right.
However, when it comes to losing lives, no.
That could have been prevented.
If it's predictable, it's preventable.
Yeah.
They should have evacuated all the assisted living facilities, all the homebound seniors, all these things in advance.
Yeah.
So the only people left behind are the ones that can pick up and leave at a moment's notice.
Right.
None of that happened. So the deputies on the ground, as the fires are burning sideways, they're the ones out there risking their hide trying to figure out, hey, can we get these people out of this place, that place? And, I mean, they saved a lot of lives, and they went through hell doing it. It didn't have to be that.
Yeah. Could have been planned a little better.
Could have been planned without this sense of, the sky is falling, when it was at the time. And the result would have been far better.
And sheriff's patrol, the Palisades, part of the Palisades or most of it?
Well, the north side of it goes up into Topanga Canyon, which is unincorporated county area.
Okay.
And sheriffs patrol that. And on the Eaton fire, the whole thing is sheriff's
of Altadena, right.
Everything, mountainside all the way down to Altadena and right up to the border with Pasadena. That's all sheriff's territory.
Okay. Well, and you guys also cover, and just to let the community know, because I know our community is basically LAPD Hollenbeck, but once we cross the valley and the train station there, it's City Terrace and it's Sheriff. We got part of the University Hills near Cal State LA, the other side, and then of course Biscaloo is right on Eastern on the other side. So that's all sheriffs. You guys also patrol the buses, right, and some GO lines.
All the trains and buses outside of the city of LA is sheriffs, with the only exception is down in Long Beach.
Okay.
But now Long Beach gave that up, so now that's reverting back to sheriff as well.
Okay. So you guys handle it's a big area. LA County is huge.
Very huge. LA County is a little bit over 4,000 square miles. The sheriff's jurisdiction is 3,115 square miles.
Wow.
Basically more than 3/4 of the whole county is sheriff's jurisdiction. But that doesn't mean we have a boatload of people. Because our sworn workforce is similar in size to LAPD, but they're only concentrated in 485 square miles. It's a very tiny footprint.
Right.
Ours is spread out everywhere. So when we lose a huge amount of personnel like we have right now, that becomes a critical public safety hazard.
Yeah, and that touching on that, the sheriff's department is having a hard time retaining deputies, right, and people staying on and wanting to come on. So not only are you having trouble keeping deputies, but you're having problems, hiring new deputies.
Yes.
So is that also part of Luna and his?
All Luna. Yeah. My first year on the job in 2019, we hired 1,100 deputies in 1 year.
Wow.
And under McDonald, my predecessor, they had lost about 800 deputies. So we gained them back. So by April of 2020, we were up to the 10,000 mark.
Okay.
Now they're below 8,000.
Wow.
It's a huge change.
That's major. And is that... Is that the reason why these deputies are working doubles and triples?
That's exactly why.
And they're tired and they're going home and getting into accidents and.
Yeah, like that one deputy in Santa Clarita in a TC and died directly as a result of working back-to-back doubles. Yeah,
and obviously that's staffing, right? And it's just and not being able to recruit.
Yeah, and each one feeds off the other, because as the mass exodus is underway, people are leaving in droves, leaving before their normal retirement time, transferring to other law enforcement agencies. And even people going into the academy, they graduate the academy, they're getting scooped up. They jump ship right away because their agencies are waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they make off like a bandit because they didn't pay for their training.
Yeah.
For nothing.
And that's great for these other smaller agencies, right? Because they're not paying for the training.
They
get these guys trained, or men and women trained, and then they scoop them up. They go to better pay.
Yeah, we sink about $100,000 to each recruit by the time they graduate.
Wow.
Between the cost of training them,
oh man,
the backgrounds, pre-employment, everything, the recruitment costs, it's about $100K. So out the window.
Wow. So do you attribute that to the leadership, to Luna's leadership, or is this just something that's going on, or do you think it's him as a leader?
It's all on Luna's leadership, because we had no problems with recruitment when I was in office. And in fact, whenever we had a testing date, we had the lines wrapping around the building. There was a steady supply. Every class that we hosted was full. In 2020, then the board imposed a hiring freeze, so we couldn't put on classes.
Okay.
That brought the whole thing to a screeching halt. It disrupted the pipeline of candidates, kids who were in college, maybe getting their associates, their bachelors, or coming out of the military. They were kind of lining up their career. All of that got interrupted. And with that, without the pipeline of kids going to the academy, you're not pushing recruits out of the academy into the jails. You're not pushing kids in the jail to patrol.
To the streets, yeah.
You're not pushing the guys in patrol to the specialized assignments. The whole thing got interrupted.
Yeah.
So now you have Homicide Bureau, massive staffing crisis, which now affects murder investigations.
Yeah.
You don't have the personnel. A lot of the suicides and things never get examined by the sheriff's department.
Wow.
They just the patrol deputies take the basic information. Coroner comes, scoops up the body. That's it.
So there's pretty much no investigation then. It's like a very minor,
on alleged suicides.
Not a specialized. Yeah.
So word of the people planning on committing a murder, just stage a suicide, you might get away with it.
Wow. And talking about homicides, because
my website is alexvillanueva2026.com. You can open up your browser on your phone, do that in. You can actually text it to yourself or to your friends, alexvillanueva2026.com. The little icon will pop up on your texting, and you can share it. From that website, you can donate, you can volunteer, you can get campaign information. All that good stuff is on there. On social media, you can find me at Sheriff Villanueva33 on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter or X, Alex Villanueva with 1L33. I'm on X as well, and we're going all over the county doing different events and public speaking engagements and fundraisers and stuff. And right now, the biggest thing to help, because people are not really paying attention to 26, that yes on 50 or no on 50 is sucking up the oxygen in the room. But fundraising is important. So if you guys want to get rid of the disaster of Luna and get me back into office, throw a few bucks my way. That'll help us with ads come next year.
We have our border town is Alhambra. We have, I believe it's like San Gabriel. And you guys handle the major crimes as well. You guys will come in and handle like homicides for these agencies, correct?
Yeah, there's 88 cities in LA County. And all we do the contract patrol work for 42 of the 88 cities, plus all of the unincorporated county areas. But when it comes to homicides, that's a very specialized skill set and experience level.
Right.
And all but 6 police departments use the sheriff's department for a homicide investigation. I think Pomona PD, I think Glendale, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Long Beach, maybe in an LAPD. I think those are the 6 that have their own homicide investigators. Everybody else relies on the sheriff.
Wow. So you guys are literally everywhere, man. Literally everywhere.
It's
and short-staffed.
Complex operation that is tragically short-staffed by design.
Wow. And whose design is that? Is that the Board of Supervisors?
Board of Supervisors, they want to shrink and starve law enforcement.
Was that part of like the defund, defund law enforcement, defund, everything?
All of that was part of the defunding craze, and it coincides with the ideology of the Board of Supervisors. Because then when Gloria Molina was on the board, and she was a liberal Democrat, she wasn't advocating defunding the Sheriff's Department. She was still a fiscally prudent leader. Hated Lee Baca's guts, for example, and they get into shouting matches. But at the end of the day, she always cut a check for law enforcement. It was not an issue. That's how the crime lab, just not too far from here, got built up that we share with LAPD.
Okay.
Now our crime lab is crippled for lack of key personnel.
Wow.
All of it by design, because now the board is dominated by 4 ideologically far-left activists. And they believe that law enforcement is inherently evil. It must be contained and constricted in every which way possible. And so for them, the fact that they recruited Luna to be sheriff, he's doing what they want them to do.
So and since we're on that, you had your run-ins with the Board of Supervisors, right? And they wanted you out.
Yeah.
What was the reason? I mean, just because you weren't complying with what they thought needed to be done, or what were the issues?
The only issue they had with me was the fatal issue. I couldn't be bought. I refused to look the other way, and if there was an issue that required investigation, we investigated. Even if it meant we were investigating a member of the Board of Supervisors, like Sheila Kuehl.
Right.
That was the sole difference.
Okay. So now basically they have almost like a puppet in Luna where
They have an absolute puppet. In fact, the one debate I had televised with Luna, I told everyone right there, and I pointed and said, he's a puppet.
Wow.
Everything he's done is only confirmed what I said in that debate. That was on Fox 11.
Wow. Wow. And so you also made a run at a Board of Supervisors, correct? What made you want to do that? What pushed you that way?
Well, I was retired, and I knew the board was a hot mess. I figured, well, let me get in there and give it a shot and see if we can clean it up.
So if things weren't working, you were like, hey, you know what? Let me get in here and try to fix it, basically.
Yeah, and oh my God, these people circle the wagons, and Janice Hahn was the incumbent. She refused to debate me.
Really?
Imagine that.
Wow.
These people are talking about saving democracy and no kings and all that shit.
Yeah.
But boy, did they act like royalty.
Wow.
It was beneath them to debate me.
Is that right? Wow. So you decide, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make another run for sheriff.
Yes.
Okay, because they had a no rehire or something like that. But they're not. They have no control over you, right?
They have no control. That whole thing was designed just as a publicity stunt.
Okay.
To harm my reputation.
Wow.
And you paid for it.
Wow.
The whole investigation. I'm already retired. And you just don't do anything to people that are retired. Unless they committed a crime or something.
Right.
You have no business doing anything.
Yeah.
Because that is lawfare. And it's illegal, unethical, immoral. And that's exactly what they did.
Wow.
And they didn't even give me a chance to respond or to defend myself. It was all done in secret. Then I find out by reading the LA Times, hey, I'm on a do not rehire list. Wow, how'd that happen?
That's crazy, man.
They had no shame whatsoever. And then you look at the investigations themselves, everyone was a sham. They never bothered interviewing me. And I called, for example, the justice deputies that work for the board. I said they're woke 20-somethings that have no business doing what they're doing. Yeah, they're the ones writing the really bad agenda items for the Board of Supervisors that harms public safety. And they have no idea the impact of what they're writing does to public safety, and they don't even bother asking.
Wow.
Which is the biggest thing.
That's I mean, you're not going to ask.
How about you ask the people that actually
that
do this for a living?
Yeah.
What this is going to do? No. And so when I called them out on it, they used that against me after I'm retired. Oh, you said this, they're offended. Oh, it's a violation of the policy of equality. You believe that?
Man.
But wait a minute. Being woke or calling somebody woke doesn't violate anything. That's actually a political term, and they fit the bill.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And so you're running. Let's say you win. How's that going to be working with them again? Because you have to work with them. So what is that going to be like? How do you see that?
One, I won't be working with Hilda Solis.
She's out, right? She's
termed out in 26, so her I'll never see again, thank God, because she is an abomination of nature. There's no other way to describe it. She's been in public office, part of the Democratic machine, and everything she's done has only made matters worse. Everything she touches, the Midas touch, whatever they touch turns to gold.
Yeah.
She has a reverse Midas touch.
Oh,
everything they touch just turns to shit.
Wow. So you're glad she's out. She's turned out.
Now she's threatening to come back as a congressperson.
Right. On the next,
as if somehow it's her seat.
Yeah.
It's being reserved for her. This is how bad it is. They're actually already decided that they're going to win, and they're going to have these congressional seats, and they're already deciding who's going to occupy the seats.
Wow.
Who's going to be on the staff of each person in these congressional seats. And you as a voter have no say in this. And yet they were out there, no kings, protesting when they act like the untouchable royalty of politics.
Oh, man, that's just that's just the part, like the politics, right? Because it's a dirty game. People are sick of politicians.
Oh yeah.
And so I think was that one of the big reasons that you had won the initial run? I mean, because you're obviously you're from the filing rank, and you came up the chain of command, and you were part of the department. Because what we're seeing now is people are coming from the outside agencies like Luna, right? Mm-hmm. But doesn't really know the department, doesn't really know the county, right? Like you do.
Clueless as the day is long. And McDonald, the same thing.
Right.
Well, McDonald was better than Luna in a sense that he was a more capable administrator of a large organization.
Larger with the LAPD.
Kind of knew more.
Yeah.
Still didn't get it, but he was closer to getting it.
Yeah.
And now Luna is just that bad.
Wow. So you're running your campaign is I wrote it down here somewhere. It's rescue, rebuild, and restore. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean?
Well, right now we got to rescue the department from being destroyed.
Yeah.
Literally, it's in the clutches of the Board of Supervisors. Luna's doing everything within his power to surrender the independence and the authority of the sheriff to the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
Everything he does, you look at it, all it does is consolidates power of the board over the sheriff's department, appointing personnel from the CEO's office to his own command staff. I mean, heck, you might as well move the Hall of Justice over to the Hall of Administration.
Wow.
Since they're running the department anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything unless he's told to say something. When the board has a motion that's screwing over the department, he doesn't show up to defend the department.
Wow.
He'll send one of his flunkies subordinates to basically just answer questions as the department's getting screwed.
Right. And so I think that ties into leadership, right? Where deputies and even community members see that, hey, this guy's not really stepping up. What type of leader is that, basically, right? Is that something that you definitely are not like and would change it?
That's not leadership.
Yeah.
That is someone who's craving for the position and the money, and will do whatever it takes just to keep that position and money.
Coming in, yeah.
And I mean, look at the way he wears his rank. He looks like a Panamanian general with all these big stars on his collar. I was the exact opposite.
Yeah. So, okay, let's we could touch in on some of the issues that have gone on, right? And one we'll talk about is deputy gangs. What's the story behind that? Obviously, tattoos are, but where did that come from?
The whole deputy gang thing was a political campaign from the very beginning. Because if you follow their allegations, they've been around for 50 years. Mm-hmm. But somehow only when I was in office, it was an existential crisis. When Baca was in office, when McDonald was in office, it wasn't an issue. When Luna was in office, only when I was in office, it became an existential crisis. Yeah, it seems that way because they haven't really talked about it since Luna's been in. Yeah. And they say, oh my God, they're running the department. So who are these mysterious people? Mm-hmm. How come they can't be identified? And then you ask them, well, who are they? Oh, there's 18 of them. We didn't know. They've identified 18 tattoos. Mm-hmm. What we do? If I go to NYPD, they have how many precincts? they probably have 100
Right.
different tattoos of their precincts. I go to LAPD, I guarantee you,
Yeah.
there's a boatload of tattoos attached to each division, LAPD.
Yeah.
Same thing with County Fire, same thing with Marine Corps, the Army. These are all paramilitary organizations that are very large and spread out,
Right.
are going to have local unit identifiers. Symbol of camaraderie, station pride, whatever you name it. There's nothing nefarious about that. And Cal State LA did a study, and we gave them full access to all of our records, and they concluded there's no correlation between station tattoos and misconduct,
Yeah.
which destroyed the entire theory of deputy gangs.
Wow. Wow.
However, once that study came out, crickets. It was officially designated that it does not exist.
Wow.
So the Oversight Commission never mentioned it ever. Inspector General never touched it ever.
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors, much less. The media, much less. We put it out there. We
Yeah.
did a press release. We provided copies. I had it on the website. To this day,
nothing was heard of. Yeah.
nothing. However, you'll hear critics say that I'm a tattoo gang member. And I belong in a prison in El Salvador.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, no, that's how ludicrous the campaign is, because people, especially people on the far left, anything that's salacious, that is confirmation bias, they'll seize on it like it's a truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show us your tattoos.
Yeah.
Or they even had a campaign on social media, Google LSD gangs. And everywhere you said Google LSD gangs.
Wow.
Well, where are they? They still haven't said.
Yeah.
All those lawsuits that kept failing, there's no evidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got no problem disciplining people, terminating people if they violate anything that we do. I even set a policy that prohibits people from forming these groups and violating other people's rights.
Right. Right. Because a tattoo alone doesn't mean you're part of a gang.
It just means you got a tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, stations. You know, I think you've used like softball teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you take pride in your station. Hey, you get a tattoo. We got matching tattoos. You and your buddy decide to get matching tattoos. You know, it doesn't make you a gang, right?
Well, according to them, you are a gang.
Yeah.
And they even went so far as to create legislation in Sacramento,
Yeah.
because they control the supermajority,
All right.
and it defined deputy gangs. And you look at the legislation, it's not going to pass constitutional muster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone tries to fire someone or incarcerate someone based on that,
It's in a tattoo. Yeah.
it's not going to work.
And then legally, how do you say to somebody, hey, take off your shirt. I want to see if you have a tattoo, or let me
Well,
see
they
your
tried
ankle.
that.
How does that?
They tried to do that. Inspector General tried to subpoena deputies and have them basically show them their tattoos.
That's crazy, right?
And they got that. They got an injunction against that. But they were relying on Luna enforcing.
Oh wow!
See, that's why they need a puppet.
They need a puppet. Yeah.
They knew with me, pound sand.
It wasn't gonna happen.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And with me, it won't happen, because I don't care what the ink people have. I care about if they're engaged in misconduct.
Right.
Then it's important to intervene.
For sure. Yeah. But based on a tattoo alone, that doesn't mean you're a gang member. It doesn't mean you're out there committing crimes.
In fact, now Luna's being sued because he actually took employment decisions based on people having tattoos.
Wow.
He denied people promotions. He denied people transfers. Now he's being sued. Now,
Yeah,
in
that's-
fact, next month he has to testify in a deposition on one of those lawsuits.
That's tough, right? How do you
Oh, that's
how do
gonna
you
be-
justify that? You can't, right?
They should put that on pay-per-view, because that's going to be priceless. The tap dance is going to go on
Yeah.
there. Oh, that's going to be
Is it
hysterical.
like a Michael Jackson moonwalk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then here's something else on that. You just became, or you switched to Republican, and then you've also said you want to keep politics out of like public
Yes.
safety, correct? So what
Because
does
public
that mean?
safety is not based on politics. People don't call 911 and they're asked, "Hey, are you a Democrat or Republican?" They call 911 because
They need help.
They need help, either real quick or like soon.
Right.
And the deputies that show up, they don't ask them, "Hey, are you a Democratic deputy or Republican deputy?"
Right,
No.
right.
Deputies don't ask them, "Hey, are you a Republican victim or a Democrat?"
Yeah,
No,
because if not, we're not going to help you.
it has no bearing.
Right.
This is about not left or right; it's about right or wrong.
Right.
And so we got to get the politics out of it and get back to the basics of public safety. And I think people are starting to realize that who you put in that seat
Matters.
It does matter.
Yeah.
Elections do have consequences.
Yes.
In this case, they were very negative ones.
Yeah. We're talking about morale, right? Morale at the stations and your department. How do you change that?
The most important job the sheriff can do is balancing support and accountability. They both have to coexist. You can't have all support and no accountability. You can't have all accountability and no support. Under McDonald and Luna, it's all accountability, zero support. Morale gets destroyed. Under Baca, it was all support, no accountability, and corruption, festered and flourished. You got to be able to have both at the same time, a balance. And we achieved that balance. I ended up terminating 165 employees in the span of 4 years.
Wow.
McDonald did 400 in the same time span. Same organization, same policy, same people. So he did more than twice as many as I did.
Wow.
He went overboard on the accountability side.
Okay.
He tried to find ways to increase how many people he could terminate, not to ask, is this the right thing to do?
Right.
He was just looking for ways to do it without asking what's the impact going to be.
Yeah.
And if you have your employees walking on eggshells, one, they're going to do a lousy job. They're not going to recruit. Your number one recruit is your workforce. When they put their hands in their pocket and say, I don't trust my employer anymore, I'm not going to send my loved ones here.
Yeah.
Your employment, your recruitment just goes down. That's what Luna is finding. When he threw that deputy, Trevor Kirk, under the bus up there, he killed any chances he had of ever having the respect of his workforce.
Right.
Then he lied his ass off about it. Oh, it wasn't me, and his fingerprints are all over it.
Yeah.
And so.
And then how's it not going to be him? He's the top dog.
George Gascon himself, not a friend of law enforcement, rejected the case.
Yeah.
And he would jump on anything if he could.
For sure.
If he could get a deputy indicted.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the case.
Wow.
And Luna shopped it to the feds, the Biden DOJ, and they jumped on it. Oh my God, because this is their chance.
Wow.
So everything that's transpired after that is he's only dug himself a deeper and deeper hole.
Yeah.
And as sheriff, you have to have the trust of your workforce. When you have their trust, they're gonna climb mountains for you, move mountains for you.
Yeah.
And they'll risk anything to get the job done, to keep the community safe. And we did that in 2020. When the riots happened, LA didn't burn down like all those other places. There's a reason why.
Yeah, and a lot of that again goes back to like leadership and like you said, recruiting and your workforce, talking good and bringing people on. How with today's like political sentiment and the communities and where the people are talking about defunding and doing letting social workers do certain law enforcement type jobs. How's that affecting? How do you balance that? Do you know what I mean? Because you can't really go back to the old school policing. You know what I mean? They want some changes now, and how do you do that?
Well, no one's going to go back to the old school way of policing pre-Rodney King, for example.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But the George Floyd thing and all the reform efforts that were being pushed after 2020 are fake reforms. Because really their only intention is to handcuff law enforcement, to remove law enforcement from the public sphere by defunding them,
Right.
by strangling their ability to hire, for example, take away the tools of the trade that keeps them safe. Everything they're doing, and they have new language now. Because defunding turned out to be real unpopular.
Right, yeah.
Now they call it reimagining.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the exact same
thing.
They just changed
it just
the name.
sounds a little nicer.
Yeah, that's why, there was an article in the Times. Oh, you know what? The efforts to get armed police out of traffic enforcement and to unarmed responders, it's not working well, or they haven't succeeded yet. And you read through the whole thing, it's a dumb idea, but it shows that there's still that dedicated group of people that think that the less cops, the safer people are.
Yeah.
No, crooks are safer with less cops.
For
Nobody
sure.
else.
Yeah.
Well, crooks and crooked politicians. Those are the two groups that benefit from less law enforcement.
Yeah, because I mean, we had those what are the organized like kind of burglary rings coming in, and they weren't doing it at night. They're broad daylight.
One in broad daylight, and the ones at night at 3 a.m. in a stolen car that they just ram into. How the hell does that shit happen? It didn't happen on my watch.
And how's it allowed?
Didn't happen
right?
before. Why? Because before you had a boatload of units out in the field, graveyard shift, for example. They'd stop stolen vehicles and they'd arrest and they'd find a boatload of 4 or 5 kids with shaved heads in a stolen vehicle at night, all wearing masks and hoodies and a truckload of sledgehammers. Yeah, that's a good traffic stop
for sure.
Those traffic stops are not happening anymore.
Yeah.
And then you see the video, and they take like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes destroying this place, and you still don't see a cop car. Why?
Yeah,
because they're not there anymore.
Yeah, that's horrible, and it's horrible to see. I mean, horrible to experience.
And then you see the poor business owner; they lost their life savings behind this.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a no-win situation, and even for the law enforcement, right? You're there. It's kind of like it takes the air out of the sail, basically, right?
Well, you realize you don't have the resources to put a dent in what's going on. Look at the street takeovers.
Street takeovers, another.
All those things that are happening that coincide with the looting and some of these things. And there's things that in the past we could impact and prevent. Today we can't. All because there's not enough cops.
Not enough cops, man. And so to become a sheriff, what do you need to become a sheriff? Because now there's some standards, right? Obviously, but there's education is one of them.
The standards were taken away by
there's dropped.
They dropped desperately because we had a pile of rejects that we accumulated when I was in office, and when he took over, couldn't hire people, so he started hiring the people that we rejected.
Went into the pile.
He took the reject pile and started hiring them. Then he took away, we'll hire people that are not U.S. citizens. Went to the DACA pile. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. And then I don't know how many other categories he's dropped. And the more he's unable to recruit, he lowers the standards further and further. We were hiring only college-educated kids from L.A. County. I had raised the minimum education level to an associate's degree.
Okay.
We're the first one ever to do that.
Yeah.
But when they imposed the hiring freeze, we had to drop it because now
the pool is...
the people were going on to other jobs waiting for us. So now we had to lower it back to high school. And I have no idea what's going on now, but you can assume it's getting uglier by the day.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And so you get elected. So it goes, we could just touch bases on, it goes in June, right?
June 2nd.
June 2nd next year, it's a primary.
That's
right?
a primary.
So the top 2 candidates will go on to November, correct?
Unless one person gets
more than 50 or 50 or more?
50% plus 1 vote.
Oh, okay. So then nobody gets the 50, right? You go to the top 2, and that'll be decided in November.
Just like the governor's race.
Okay.
Which will happen in the governor's race, because especially that race, it's going to be so polarized and divided.
Right.
You may see somebody that gets 20% of the vote is going to go on to the runoff, or 15% might make the runoff.
Yeah. Same with you guys. There's 7 candidates, you said, on...
right now there's 7. Who knows? There may even be more, but it's all said and done.
So, I mean, so what separates you from the rest of these candidates? Obviously, I mean, you've been a sheriff, so what else?
Well, a couple of things. One, the fact that the Board of Supervisors hates my guts and spent all of that time and energy to get rid of me means I'm probably the most qualified.
For sure.
Not by anything magical that I have that no one else has, but by the fact that I'm willing to do the right decisions and always uphold the rule of law. That in of itself is the number one responsibility of the sheriff. And I was confronted with that again and again, and we always made the right decision. In fact, when we had our meetings of our top executives, we'd do daily or weekly meetings. We call it the top 5. rule of thumb was in any issue that arose or a question, it was like, okay, what's the right thing to do? Mm-hmm. That's number one. Let's identify that. Number two, how do we make that happen? That was a simple formula, and you'd be surprised. All those lawsuits against me, no one could ever come up with any smoking gun of anything. Hey, let's cheat here and there. Maybe none. Couldn't find it because we know it didn't exist. Because we were like, we're going to make the right decision, no matter how hard or difficult it may be, or it could be cast us in a negative light. It was the right decision.
Yeah, and you're just going to keep doing the right thing.
We're going to stick with it,
whether it's popular or not. Whether the board of supervisors.
It doesn't matter. Is it the right thing to do? Yes or no? And we stuck with that formula, and I'll always stick to that formula. And I don't know what the other candidates, if they were successful to do it or not, but during my 4 years in office, we turned a deficit into a surplus, huge deficit into a budget surplus. We hired record numbers of deputies, which is the biggest challenge of today. We didn't have that problem whatsoever. Deputies are willing to come back if we succeed and get reelected. We faced the pandemic. We faced the Summer of Love and the riots. And all these things, we're able to come out ahead, make the right decisions in the face of opposition, like the vaccine mandate. I opposed it. Turns out I was right. It was unconstitutional and disruptive and dangerous to public safety, because we would have lost thousands of employees on the vaccine mandate. I explained this to the board and said, no, we're not going to do it. And I stood my ground, and turns out I was right all along.
Right, yeah.
And so I have that track record. Same thing with cleaning out the homeless encampments. We went to Venice. We went to Olvera Street, San Vicente in front of the VA hospital, Topanga Canyon, Larios Park, Parnell Park. I mean, dozens of places throughout LA County. Cleaned the place up, got the homeless into shelters, returned the place to the local control, regulated the public space is a phrase I used, and it worked. No arrests, no use of force. In the jails, we lowered use of force in double digits on the streets. We introduced the body-worn cameras. We dropped complaints by 30%, I think 31%.
Wow.
And so everything we did worked the way it was intended.
Right.
Except the Board of Supervisors and the media just could not accept it because it didn't fit their narrative they were trying to craft.
Okay.
Some, crazy gangster guy that doesn't know what I'm doing and, I'm a threat. Or they come up with these really vague terms. He's condoning violence. How the hell do you do that?
Yeah.
Or he's resisting oversight. No. We need oversight is good. Inspector General, all those things are great things and we need them, but they can't be used as vehicles for political attacks.
Okay.
That's no longer oversight.
Yeah.
It's just a straight up attack. And that's all we had. And we missed out on actual legitimate oversight.
Okay.
Which was denied us.
Yeah.
And it's always good to have a third party fact checking and making sure we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's. We never got that.
Wow.
Because they were so busy trying to attack us.
Trying to attack you, yeah. So you're not opposed to oversight. You're not opposed to working with them. It's just...
I actually want that. I need that. Because I know that if we do it internally, there's always going to be the internal bias. Right. That we're not going to see ourselves in a objective light.
Right.
But we never got that because these people are so busy attacking us. They would not acknowledge anything good we did, and try to invent shit that we didn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the SB 1421, the Sunshine Law, the board refused us the resource we need to come in compliance with the law.
What is that Sunshine Law?
SB 1421, that allowed a lot of the records of personnel of sworn deputies to become public.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
But it was something approved, signed into law by the governor. It came into effect January 1st of 2019. I'd only been in office for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
McDonald knew ahead of time. He asked the board for resources. They told them to pound sand. I asked for resources 5 times in a row through budget cycles. They told me each and every time to pound sand. Wow. So I go say, well, we're not getting any resources, and we needed the bodies. We needed the redaction software to release things publicly. Right. They would give us none of it, so we had to do it all by hand.
Wow. So you're literally blacking out?
Yeah. We had no personnel to do it, so I actually kidnapped and repurposed an entire bureau called the Audits and Accountability Bureau. We just converted it into SB 1421 Compliance Bureau. And December 31st of 2021, I think that was it, we came in full compliance. Something we started in 2019. It took us 2 years to get into full compliance. And that's while being sued by the LA Times like 500 times. I mean, you name it. Everybody was suing us.
Right.
And we're still trying to be in compliance. We got in compliance. And what does Max Huntsman, the Inspector General, he writes a scathing, one of his little bullshit reports that we're not in compliance, and he uses data from a year earlier.
Oh, wow.
When he had access to the data to say we're in compliance.
Current,
so his entire product was a political hit piece.
Right.
Wasn't based on facts. And that just showed you his lack of objectivity.
Yeah,
he was there to deliver political attacks on behalf of the board.
And it becomes political, again, like most things do, right?
And so then people, oh my God, he's resisting oversight. He's not transparent. We're killing ourselves to be as transparent as we can.
Wow.
We put a website. We put everything on the website.
Yeah.
All of our memorandums back and forth with the Board of Supervisors, we put it on the website, which the board hated because it would show the whole, oh my God, yeah, we were as transparent as you could possibly be.
Wow, that's interesting because, I mean, I didn't even know about that because obviously you read the Times or whatever these reports come out and you really don't know.
Yeah.
This episode is also brought to you by the AR Legal Team. If you're involved in a traffic accident and you're injured, they can help you out. They can walk you through the process, getting you to a doctor, helping you with your medical bills, getting your car repaired, and getting you the compensation that you deserve. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you're already seeing an attorney and you need a free second opinion, reach out to them directly or send us a DM. Let them help you out. Thank you.
And like the body-worn cameras, December of 2018, my first week on the job, we laid out all the toys and everything, and we figured out how can we make this happen. Got a plan together. We ran it, went to the board with it. They dragged their feet and did everything possible to delay the implementation of something that they were publicly claiming we needed because they didn't want to give me the perception like I was doing something positive. Oh, wow. So December of 2018, it took till October of 2020, almost 2 years, till we finally got the first units deployed in patrol. Had they acted on it when we asked them, we would have had the Andres Guardado shooting, would have been caught on body-worn camera.
Wow.
All these things we would have had on body-worn camera by the entire year 2020.
Wow.
So it took about a little bit over a year to get the full department deployed because it was thousands of cameras.
Yeah, for sure.
And no, they fought tooth and nail. Heck, in December alone, they did a board motion. We'd like to make sure we have this right, and so let's launch a study on the body-worn camera. They've done 4 studies already. What was else to study?
Yeah.
Just get the shit done.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose was, let's slow it down. Let's buy ourselves some time.
Wow.
That alone cost 6 months on the project.
Wow.
For the same people who are claiming that transparency is so important. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are so disgusting in how they lie.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is how people consume it eagerly. Like, it must be true. He really does not like transparency. No. We were painfully transparent.
Wow.
It just didn't help the narrative of the board.
Wow. Yeah, that's man. Politics is tough, man. What makes you want to? What makes you want to jump back in and do it? This is
well. We got so many calls from people saying, "Please come back," and I spent my entire life, adult life, on the department. So did my wife Vivian. Between the two of us, that's 60 years, and we know the department like the back of our hands, and we just could not see it just fall apart.
No.
It won't last 4 years under Luna anymore. I mean, I don't think it'll last the 4 years right now.
Yeah.
I think only the hope of people that I may come back is starting to get people to say, hey, you know what, maybe we can sit this out.
Maybe we can hang on a little longer.
Hang on, and let's not jump ship yet or retire early. Let's see what happens. And I'm hoping, and that's why our slogan for our campaign is "Help is on the way," because it is.
Yeah.
And people understand that.
Yeah. So there's some hope. There's some hope. Yeah, because like I said, I've talked to we have buddies that are on the job and they talk about morale and everything going on, and also there's been a lot of suicides. It's kind of like a record number of suicides.
14.
Wow, what is that? What is that about?
That's more suicides than LAPD, NYPD, Chicago PD, all three put together.
That's horrible.
When you're working back-to-back double shifts, when you don't look forward to a job where you're treated as a suspect, and your supervisors are looking for an opportunity to basically make a case to show how wonderful they are as supervisors and put you under investigation. All these things, it creates a toxic work environment. And then you're so much at work, you're not paying attention to what's going on at home. Your home life is non-existent.
Yeah.
Kids are growing up, don't even know who mom or dad is.
Yeah.
And your quality time with your significant other, major events that happen, you're never there. You're like that, that gone figure.
Yeah.
And that adds stressors. A toxic work environment, lack of support, or organizational betrayal. Those are big factors when it comes to suicides of cops. They exceed people dying by, a felonious assault. Suicides exceed felonious assaults.
Yeah, that's a scary statistic, man. It's very sad because the job alone is stressful. The job alone, just doing your job
by
is
itself.
alone.
Yes.
And then on top of that, you got, like you said, your supervisors and just the work environment, the toxic work environment, no leadership. That's like a perfect storm for some bad stuff, right?
And bad decisions. Like they have one now where they change the use of force reporting. If you draw your firearm and you point at someone, they're calling that a use of force.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which meant now the poor deputies, they have to think about, is this going to be a report? I don't want them to think about that. I want them to draw their firearm if they think it's important.
For sure. I mean, how are you going to respond to a burglary call or a robbery call and then think about, hey, I might have to make a report if it's not a legit fire, you know what I mean? Like,
how many times when I worked patrol at East LA, I withdrew my firearm?
You got
Sometimes I pointed it, sometimes I didn't, sometimes I had it by my side, but out. Sometimes in a car pulling up next to a carload of gangsters, I have the gun out through the door, pointed at them. They don't know it.
Yeah.
But all those times that we use it, I don't want the reporting or not reporting to be part of the equation of when they decide to do it. Because that is actually, that's a threat.
Yeah,
it's a threat to their safety.
For sure. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation because, matter of fact, a deputy of mine, a good buddy of mine, Castillo, sent me a video. They showed me a video. It's on Instagram, but I don't know what city it was. But they respond to a shooting call, and there's a man on the ground on the street, right? So there's a shooting call. He arrives in his patrol car. There's a man down. Right, and he's calling him out as a victim. He doesn't even know yet. So he walks up on him, gonna try to give him like first aid. Puts on some gloves, and he gets shot. The man down was a suspect. So no gun out, walking into a shooting call, and the guy down ends up being a suspect. Shoots him.
Well,
so I mean those are the situations that are gonna happen if that's the case, right?
Here's another scenario, different but related, and this is about the toxic work environment. July 3rd of 2019, Compton deputies had made an arrest, 2-man unit. They're going back to the station, and someone blows by them, I think, at a high rate of speed, if I remember correctly, to the point like they couldn't ignore it. So they turned around to go light him up. And they figured we'll get another unit once this stop the guy, and then we'll get another unit to go so we can continue back to the station. Well, no. What that happened with that car they lit up, it was an SUV belonging to that rapper Yee.
Okay.
It was bulletproof, and the guy comes out one of the rear windows with an AK-47 and lights him up, makes Swiss cheese out of his radar car. Another radar car pulls up, that one gets made Swiss cheese. So you got 4 deputies involved. You have 1 crook in the back seat. So they end up, I think their car got disabled, and They chased the bad guy, and I think at some point they lost him somewhere towards Inglewood, and I think SCB made entry, had to break their way into the SUV, but they found the people involved. And when that guy sprayed the deputies with AK-47, he also hit an innocent bystander on a bicycle on the street. So that guy died. And the family tried to sue, saying the deputies killed, but no, it was the AK-47.
Yeah.
And I think the deputies returned fire at some point, if I'm not mistaken. But I went to the station, I talked to the deputies, they were still a little shaken. A couple of them had, cuts on their hands and stuff from the flying glass because the windshield was...
Right.
And I was just, thank God these people survived. Well, fast forward, Luna's in office. He gives them 18-day suspensions.
What? For what?
Well, they told the fact that it was being sued by the family. And then since it was told, they said, well, now we can impose discipline because the deputies being 10, 15, having someone in custody, they had no business going out there.
Oh, my. Are you kidding me?
That is how petty, disgusting, and morally depraved Luna is right there.
Yeah.
This is a scenario where you thank these deputies for doing what they're doing.
Yeah, putting their lives at,
Yeah, and
danger.
being able to come home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it was sad for, obviously, the victim who died, but not through the deputies doing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they lived to tell about it. I mean, you look at photos
That's
of
horrible,
the radio
man.
cars, they're Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
And they all survived.
Man.
And the right thing to do as a leader is what I did then. I went and thanked each and every one of them. I gave them one of my challenge coins. I say, keep your heads up. Good job, guys.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Go get yourself bandaged up and go back out there.
Yeah.
And they did that.
Wow.
And then this guy comes and just stabs him in the back.
That's horrible, man.
18-day suspension.
That is just, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, then, there's no wonder their morale's bad and people are jumping ship.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, between that, Trevor Kirk and Gardner, the other case out of, I think, Palmdale, he's created the perfect storm for people to say, I'm done. I want nothing to do with this guy.
Yeah, that's just crazy. And because again, law enforcement, the job is dangerous alone. It's super dangerous. And we had an El Sereno guy, who sadly his name was Joe Solano. He just came on, I believe it was like 2019.
No. Joe Solano had been on for a while.
No, you had just started, right?
I just came by, and he was the first one that died.
Yeah.
Well, and he was Alhambra.
Yeah, right down the streets.
Down the street from here.
Fremont and Valley.
Yeah, minding his own business.
Minding his own business, man. Gets shot in the back of the head.
Yep.
And that was an El Sereno guy. He was actually lived a couple of houses down from my mom's house. So yeah, it was a sad event. And again, the dangers and without support. And you spoke on that, right? Yeah,
I went to the hospital. We walked his remains with the family, arm in arm, from LCMC to the coroner's office. And I remember that. That was a tough day.
And that's as a leader, as a sheriff, right? That's something that's not easy to do, and it doesn't get easier, right?
No, or we had Tom Albanese, the motor unit out of Lakewood, who crashed and was instantly killed there. That was tough. Other one was Amber Joy Least, helping an old couple across the street. She was taken out in, I want to say it was West Hollywood. She was West Hollywood, I think, Station DB. And Dakota Palanca, she survived, but was almost a vegetable. Still in recovery. I think she's retired now and just in one of those facilities from traumatic brain injury to recover.
Yeah.
Just tough circumstances.
Those circumstances, tough job. And then you obviously need a tough leader, man. So
it's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to touch bases on, Alex?
Well, someone asked me, how hard is it to be sheriff? And I say, it's as easy as riding a bike. Except the bike's on fire, you're on fire, and the fire's on fire.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough. Hey, just another thing, real quick. I heard you were a pole vaulter. How did that go about, man? What's that?
When I was growing up in Puerto Rico, me and my older brother David, we saw Wild World of Sports, and they always had a little clip of a guy vaulting there, and I think Dave Roberts was a world record holder in those days in the 70s. And I said, well, let's try to vault, but we had no equipment. Our local high school that we were at, they had very elementary equipment. So we made poles out of bamboo.
Oh, shit.
We dried them, and we started vaulting fences.
No shit.
With that, and got more daring. And then the school bought a couple of scraps of foam because we were vaulting in sand.
Oh, wow.
And so basically, as soon as you went up, you're how are we going to go down? Not all the fancy equipment of today.
Yeah.
And we had a runway that was slightly uphill and half gravel, half dirt, and really, really crude by today's standards. And no, I think I vaulted 11 and a half feet in that.
Oh, wow.
Under those conditions, and I picked it up and went to college. Then I walked on to the track team at University of Puerto Rico in college. I came here to San Bernardino Valley College with the military, and then Cal Poly Pomona. I walked on those teams.
No kidding.
Then I added decathlon to the repertoire, and I had fun doing it.
That's cool, man.
The only thing that stopped me, and I did in the police Olympics, but once I blew out my knee, my meniscus on my right knee, that
it was never the same.
I tried, and it happened in 99 and 07, and I was at East LA College with the College Bureau. And I was coaching the vaulters at East LA College. I said, you know what, let me bring out the old spikes. Let me see if I can generate the speed. But I tried, and I just could not. I cannot generate the turnover I needed to get airborne. So I said, okay, I think my vaulting days are done.
That's crazy, man. I think that's just crazy. I've seen some where they kind of miss even the when they had padding, right? They miss the padding and.
Oh yeah. You don't want to miss the pit. It hurts.
Yeah, and then I've seen some where the actual pole, they're on it and they kind of get stabbed by it as well. It's like
couple, but the worst ones are when you're going a full head of steam. You make the pit, you plant the pole, you got the full bend going, and you think you're going to go up, and all of a sudden, bah, it snaps. It sounds like a rifle shot.
No shit.
And then you land all fucked up, upside down, with your head in the box, and they're like, wonder what happened. And you got a piece of pole in your hands and nothing else.
Shit.
Yeah. But if you're going real fast, you'll make the pit still, even if it snaps.
Yeah.
It's just a sense of betrayal.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys all for joining us. Another episode here with Alex Villanueva. We appreciate you coming in, Alex. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for giving us the insight to your campaign. We wish you the best. And again, reach out, donate, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks again.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. It was great talking to you.